Hi, it's Yara with my astrological forecast for the upcoming new moon that gives birth on Tuesday, March 21st at 6:30 p.m. to a new lunar cycle. This is an important event because it happens to be the first new moon after the Spring Equinox, which takes place only one day before, on Monday, March 20th at 9:30 p.m. here in Central Europe. And this first new moon, close to the Spring Equinox, is considered to give birth to the Vedic New Year that starts always the day after the new moon in question, on Wednesday, March 22nd this year. And this very same new moon initiates also the sacred waxing moon of Navaratri, the 9 nights of the goddess, which are celebrated several times a year with the beginning of every new season. Navaratri is a Hindu festival that celebrates the power of the goddess, of Shakti, the divine mother and supreme energy that runs through the entire universe, and begins to bloom with power and fertility now at the beginning of the spring season. For 9 nights, starting with the night from Wednesday, March 22nd to Thursday, 23rd, as the light of the moon grows bigger, the power of Shakti increases. The first 3 nights are in honor of Durga, who is also worshipped as Kali, because Kali emerged out of the third eye of Durga to help her in her fight against the demons. Both are fierce and fiery goddesses who stand for protection and transformation. The next 3 nights, from Saturday night until the morning of Tuesday 28, are for Lakshmi, the goddess of love, abundance and harmony, whose energy is gentle and expansive. It fills the new space within us, created through the purification promoted by Durga and Kali. And the last 3 nights, from Tuesday night until the morning of Friday 31st, are in honor of goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and art, whose energy is also gentle and flows like a stream of water. And this mixture of fiery and watery energies that distinguishes Navaratri is also present in the new moon of Tuesday 21st, because it falls in the water sign of sidereal Pisces at 6 degrees and in the stars of Uttara Bhadrapada, which in the West are known as the constellation of Pegasus. And in the Western culture, Pegasus, or a unicorn, is a divine winged stallion, a magical creature that brought lightning and thunder from Mount Olympus. In the Vedic culture, Uttara Bhadrapada is a fierce but auspicious star that grants protection and growth. And it has also a relation to the fire element. We have Uttara Bhadrapada, which is the lunar mentioned before Uttara Bhadrapada. The deity of Purva Bhadrapada stands for lightening, illumination or enlightenment, the all-pervading nature of Shiva as cosmic consciousness. And the deity of Uttara Bhadrapada stands for thunder or thunderclouds. Both are part of the family of the Rudras, fierce and deeply transformative atmospheric forces. In the ancient tradition, the two lunar mansions of Bhadrapada were first called Prostapadas, which means burning or combustion. Here we have the fire element. And Bhadra now means blessed, whilst Pada stands for feet, foundation, or a portion of something. Uttara Bhadrapada in that sense is a blessed part of the sky, but it refers also to Muladhara chakra, the first chakra, as our blessed foundation. Uttara Bhadrapada's thundercloud deity is Ahirbudniya, a giant and mysterious water serpent that lies coiled at the bottom of the cosmic ocean and is the supportive power at the root chakra of the whole universe. Ahirbudniya is Kundalini energy in the universe and within us. Kundalini energy or Kundalini Shakti is symbolized by a coiled snake that lies semi-dormant at the base chakra. Its awakening leads to self-realization, self with a capital S, which means that we awake from a state of dormancy or ignorance or maya to the recognition that behind all appearances and identifications that we may have made, we are all nothing but consciousness, divine light and love. Awakening is a process that is inseparable from a most necessary transformation, because all our old beliefs, identifications and self-image must be burned. So it is no wonder that Uttara Bhadrapada is symbolized by a funeral pyre that burns away, that purifies all these old mental constructs and interpretations and liberates us from conditioning and old ignorance. And the fierce and fiery goddesses as Durga or Kali are the subtle energies behind this process of transformation and purification. When Durga fights against the demons who stand for the power of ignorance, of Maya, she does so to protect our very essence and Dharma. It is not always easy or pleasant to experience this transformational power working with us. But in order for Kundalini Shakti to ascend, all the impurities that she encounters on her way up along the subtle body must be burned and integrated. They melt into the vibration of the fabric of our consciousness. The heat that is generated through this burning melts the gentler watery energies that are also known as soma, a divine nectar that emanates from the glands in our head when we awaken to the bliss of our true nature. And these watery energies then shower down and are the oil that keeps the fire burning. It's an interplay between watery and fiery energies, between Shiva showering down and Shakti ascending up, between divine grace descending upon us and Shakti energy finding her way up. In order for this interplay to start to work with us, in us, we must surrender. We must render ourselves and give over to a higher power. And we do this normally when we come in our life to a state of helplessness, when we realize, because we experience a loss, a disease, or some other kind of challenging circumstance, that we are not the doer, we are not in control. And then we turn to a higher power. And this new moon in Pisces invites us to surrender to these higher powers. We are all invited to give ourselves to this transformational process. And the new year that starts with the new moon promises to be full of change and new beginnings if we feed the process, if we keep the process burning. As Saturn is the ruling planet of Uttara Bhadrapada, and purifying Saturn transits sidereal Aquarius in the 12th house from the new moon, there will be plenty of material for us to burn, to transform, as disempowering and limiting beliefs, feelings of doubt, guilt, or fear that may block our path. The new moon and the sun are together with Mercury, Jupiter, and Neptune in sidereal Pisces. And we all know that Jupiter and Neptune are the traditional and the modern ruler of Pisces, the last of the water signs that stands for the cosmic ocean and our return home, dissolving ourselves in unity consciousness. This is a highly spiritual, very sensitive, and also artistic new moon, whose energy we can channel through meditation and contemplation that is going within, and in its outward expression we can paint with watercolors, sing, play a musical instrument, dance, write poetry, whatever way of creative self-expression suits us. We might perceive more in images, pictures, holistic understanding than in an intellectual or rational fashion. And we may have important insights and new ideas regarding how to live our lives. In fact, the stars of Bhadrapada are ancient heralds to the ending and beginning of great cosmic cycles. And the planets in Pisces feed on the sustenance, the nourishment provided by the next house and sign, where Venus and Rahu, the lunar north node, are transiting through sidereal areas. They speak and they add the longing and search for new beginnings, for new relationships, new ways to handle our resources, for loving manners to build a new world. And Mars in sidereal Gemini, who rules Aries, is in sextile with the planets in Aries, squares the new moon, and he is in an air trine with Saturn. Mars looks for these new ways and new beginnings. He is actively searching in a very open, curious, playful, and inspired fashion. It is for us to keep that inspiration, that fire, that longing, and necessary cleansing burning, because we become what we behold. We can say that this new moon is a call for humankind to embrace forgiveness and let go of the past. A call for less narrow-minded, less polarized, and less egotistical opinions and ways to relate to others who think differently in a more pacific way. And it is an invitation for us to focus our attention on this new moon and during the 9 sacred nights of Navaratri, on the transformative and nurturing powers of the goddess, who is the life-giving force in everyone and everything that exists. Have a blessed new moon. See you soon.